What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from A Connection TV here on YouTube and watchactv.com. The two places on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to my channel. If you're new to me, I do so much here on the A Connection TV YouTube, so I've decided to shift gears a little bit and create a channel solely for reviews on film, anime, scripted content. So this particular video will also go on my Wes the Critic YouTube channel. But for those of you that haven't navigated to the Wes the Critic YouTube channel, I will be posting this video here as well. So again, if you want a more streamlined channel that's going to give you specifics on reviews, then definitely go check out Wes the Critic, where I tell you whether something is worth it or not. Now, I don't know if you've been into All American. If you haven't, I don't know what's been going on. We're 4 seasons in now. Episode 1 premiered today, and I simply love this show. I think it is one of the best scripted shows on television currently, especially with black leads. Okay, leading the charge. I feel that it is well scripted, well acted, the drama is there, the crying is there, the feels is there. I was crying this particular episode, and I just simply love the characters. I love the show. So I definitely believe that All American, the entire season, is worth it. But let's dive into episode 1, okay? Again, this is season 4, episode 1, entitled Survival of the Fittest. All right, let's dig in. So if you've watched last season, hopefully you did watch last season, you know that Coop got shot by Mo, okay? And that's how they ended it. They always end on a cliffhanger. That's what All American is known for, right? And so I'm leading into this thinking about Coop, obviously, but thinking about whether or not Crenshaw is going to win, or is Beverly going to win. What's going to happen between Billy and Jordan. I mean, Billy and Spencer, because they, Billy got all upset with Spencer last season because of him training Jordan. And I also wanted to know what this creepy girl, Carrie, was going to do with Layla. And so I'm like, I didn't even know that All American was coming on today. So much going on in my world, it's very hard to keep up. But all the while, I'm ready to watch it, right? So we get into it, and Coop got shot last season, like I said. Carrie walks out to an edge of a cliff and tries to kill herself, or at least that's what we're seeing, right? They stop. What is with all these LA people having the ability to drive their car to a cliff? Why aren't there any guardrails on any of these cliffs in LA? Interestingly enough, I was driving around in the hills where the Hollywood sign is, and some beautiful, gorgeous houses on steep cliffs and stuff. I don't understand how those houses got built, but driving around and there are no guardrails. Why? What is that? Is that like an LA thing or a Hollywood thing or whatever thing? What's going on with that? Why am I able to drive my car off the cliff? I don't understand that. So of course she gets to a cliff with no guardrail, no sign saying step back, just a beautiful, gorgeous view and a steep ass cliff. Okay, very interesting. What's about to happen? Is this girl gonna kill herself? Because, it's been leading to that. She's been cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for a while now. Is she gonna end it here? We shift gears and we're at a cemetery with Spencer, and he's talking to himself because no one's there, but I'm assuming that he's talking to a tombstone. 2 things came to my mind. One, obviously everybody would think that it's Mo, but I'm like, nah, it can't really be Mo. Like, they really just took her out of the season. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Then the second person that came to my mind was the father. I'm like, it has to be the father, right? Because Mo can't die. I mean, she can, but are we really going to be sacrificing people in All American? I don't get that from All American. I don't. I get everyone's going to survive, and that's okay, because I'm usually okay with the protagonists surviving. So we switch gears again. It's gonna be like tipsy-turvy, tossy-turny, whatever, going back, forth and forth like Aaliyah, back in the past to the present, back in the past to the present. So we get to the past where we see Crenshaw versus Beverly. And this is the game that for so many seasons, 4 seasons now, we've been waiting for, right? And so, unfortunately, Spencer gets the news of Coop being shot. His mom comes on the court, tells Billy, hey, listen, this is going on. Spencer goes and says, hey, what's going on? Mom is like, it's Coop, it's bad, she's been shot, you have to go to the hospital. So we get a present clip of Layla being upset and having, scary nightmares and dreams and all of this. And she's going through it, right? Because this girl, Carrie, who proclaimed to like her, who was really at the same time, for me, giving lesbian vibes. I was really trying to figure out where they were going to take this storyline. But, Layla is going through it. She's battled depression. She lost, Spencer to her friend Olivia. Like, her father's never been around. Her mom's gone. Like, this girl has been going through it for 4 seasons now. Well, 3 full seasons starting into 4th. And so, no one's really sat back and said, hey, girl, are you okay? And she's never really said, like, y'all know what? I'm effed up. It's never happened, but she's going through the motions now. And she's really like battling within herself about what it is that's the deep-rooted cause for her pain and trauma. And it's interesting to see her work through the process. But her father is like trying to hold on to her tight, to be like, baby, I'm here, I'm sorry, but I'm here now. But Layla's like, nah, I'm not really having it right now. I need my space, I need my me time. I'm fine. But clearly she isn't, right? We know she isn't fine. Spencer's family and close friends decide to have an intervention. Spencer's like, no, I'm not listening to y'all. This seems to be the same thing that happens often. Spencer gets the opportunity of a lifetime. He denounces it because he's worried about his family and friends. Or something good goes for him and he's just not really here for it because he's worried about his family and friends. Same regular superhero, Black Superman, Spencer. This is his thing. I was appreciative that they brought Darnell back into the fold because a lot of people were wondering why they got rid of him in season 3 or whatever the case may be. Like, why did he have to leave? They really liked his character. So for Darnell to come back into the house to try to talk to Spencer, I thought that was pretty dope how they just brought Homeboy back. Layla goes looking for Olivia and I'm like, okay, they've made up? They're cool? Like, they're cool. Yeah, they are, because Liv told Layla about Carrie last season. And so, yeah, they are cool. But I had to remember whether or not they were cool or just like, okay. But, Layla goes to visit Liv. Liv is not there. She's dealing with Spencer, of course. Layla and Jordan kind of have a moment. Jordan's like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you're safe because I thought that you were gonna die. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was worried about you, or whatever the case may be. Layla is sitting there confiding into Jordan about her father and how her father is like really aggravating her, real aggy. And Jordan's like, you should definitely take your own advice here, practice what you preach, and tell your father how you feel because the pain is just for a moment, but the healing lasts forever. I'm like, oh, okay. That was cute. That was Hallmark-ish. Spencer gets a call from Coop's boy. I can't remember his name. But he confides in Spence and lets him know what happened. Patience comes out because she kind of sussing over the phone call or whatever. And she's mad at Homeboy. And Homeboy is like, my bad. I tried to save her. And it's because of me that she's here because I brought her. But I couldn't stay because, I'm on parole or whatever the case may be. And that was an interesting situation. I mean, I feel for the guy. But Coop told everybody about Mo and nobody believed her. And it is what it is. We're here now. She got shot. What are we finna to do? Layla's dad is doing OD extra, but I get it because he's worried about his daughter. He goes to the studio session to bombard and crash Layla's session or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'll just watch you and see how you move. Layla's like, no, I'm leaving. This is too much. I told you I'm fine. I'm going to meet with Jordan. No, she wasn't. The father calls Jordan and Jordan wasn't meeting with her, but Jordan decides to meet with her because the father requests it. Outside of that, Crenshaw loses to Beverly. Aww. I kind of knew that this was going to happen because Spencer wasn't there, and it would have been great had they allowed Crenshaw to win because, you know, the guys gave this great speech about how, you know, Spencer is, you know, Spencer carried the team on his back, and we need to do this for Spence, or whatever the case may be, and they end up still losing, which was like whack. I thought that Crenshaw should have won. That's my opinion. What about y'all? Do y'all think that Crenshaw should have won? The guys all visit Spence and everybody at the hospital because they're all worried about Coop. No one's really pressed about winning or losing the game. It's all to be there for Coop. Layla ends up talking Carrie off of the cliff, which was a great scene. I really appreciated the acting from both ladies. You know, it was given like, what would I have done had I been there? Honestly, I don't know. I probably would have forcefully threw the person off the cliff. Like, I mean, away from jumping off the cliff, not off the cliff. Jesus, Wes. But I would have pulled her ass or his ass back and, you know, pummeled him, and we would have had a conversation there. Or pummeled her and we would have had a conversation there. Don't be bringing me out on no cliff to like pull me over on with you because you think that we're feeling the same feelings. It's crazy to me. No. Coop ends up waking up and she's acting like she has amnesia. I thought that was hilarious because I was about to break down and cry. I thought that the moment between, you know, Patience and Spencer, that whole emotional outcry, trying to figure out what happened to, you know, Coop, that whole moment when he's running in the thing, that was all emotional. I was in tears. The whole hospital situation, I was in tears, which I was grateful that they showed us what they were going through in that particular moment because I was like, they're not just gonna breeze over the emotional drama from being in the hospital. Like, I wanna see the tears because I wanna feel the feels, right? I felt it all. Spencer and Billy have a conversation that Spencer needed to have like season 2, you know? Like Spencer's always trying to save someone, always trying to be the hero. And that's exactly what Billy said. Billy said that the reason you're not signing the Toledo paperwork is because you don't want to not be the hero. You don't want to not be needed, and you don't want your family to not want you there or to not need you there. And I thought that was really dope, and I thought that was very telling to everything that Spence had been going through with his therapist that he neglected over and over and over again. So Billy's conversation to Spencer was definitely needed. Layla ends up living with Olivia and Jordan because that's her compromise that her and her father come to when she finally tells her father how she feels and how she's been feeling neglected all of these years. And the father can't do anything but accept it. And so he concedes and allows her to go live with Olivia and Jordan and her parents. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And so we finally get to see who Spencer was talking to at the cemetery. And of course, I thought it was the father. I thought it was the father and or Coop. But I just knew it wasn't Coop, but I thought it was the father. Like, I really did. And it ends up being the father. Spencer ends up signing the Toledo paperwork for the scholarship, and we live happily ever after. Until we get to episode 2, and there's still some drama. Because, you know, Coop has lied to the cops to save her homie. And I don't think that's gonna bowl over well. And Patience is tired of it. Patience is tired of Coop's antics. And I think everybody is tired of Spencer's antics. But all in all, this episode was great. I thought it was good. I thought it was riveting. It was drama filled. It made me cry. I got goosies upon goosies upon goosies. And I'm curious to see what's gonna happen next. So all in all, I give this particular episode a worth it. It's definitely worth it. The whole entire season is worth it. If you haven't seen All American, you will love this series. It has great acting, great acting, great writing, great production value, and the characters are, relatively speaking, relatable. What? Get into it. Leave your comments below this video. Give this video a thumbs up. That would be amazing. It will help this video be seen because YouTube is literally YouTube is shadow banning my page. Okay? I don't get the views and I don't get the subscribers anymore. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. But if you could hit a like button, that would really help. All right, and stay engaged with your boy. Love you. You guys are my connects. Thank you guys for tuning in. Deuces. I know. Y'all not about to think about not subscribing to aconnectiontv.com. Copyrighted.